Down. Anytime I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! Now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
Vibrant AI picture. Resonant AI sound. The wonder of LG OLED TV.
So we started off in 1999 as a hobby business. I wanted to stay involved in motorsports, and we were racing go-karts at the time. So what do? Well, you teach other people how to get involved in motorsports. We started by running these go-karting clinics, and really it was an idea that my wife had come up with.
Me and JP, we met, and he was in racing and I was doing events. So we decided to do karting clinics. We always had in mind that, you know, Filipinos were made for racing because of their build, you know, being so fast on the road. So we thought that, you know, making racing accessible to more people was the way to build and grow the industry.
So we started the racing clinics, and every year from that point forward, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. We went from go-karts to cars, cars to single-seaters. We got involved in drifting, we ran the race team, and it's been a fantastic 20 years.
We've always wanted to create a ladder for racing Filipinos to be able to reach the global stage. And one of the things that we've always tried to do was to make the steps reachable, economical, and cost-effective.
So at Tuason Racing, we believe innovation is really the way to go. When we finish a program and we pat ourselves on the back for about a day, and then we go back to the drawing board and we look at how we've done that program and look at how we can make it better. The idea for us is we can do a good job one day, but the next day we have to do an even better job. So for us, innovation is the way to go, always moving forward and always looking at the next biggest thing.
So Tuason Racing is embarking on a new challenge this year. For the last 21 years, we have been developing and helping out racers on the track. This year, we are developing racers that will be competing in the esports arena. This is the way we're embracing the future. We believe that there are now two arenas that Filipino racers can be best at. One on track and one online.
So after 21 years of fantastic motorsports, I want to thank all of our partners out there that have helped us through the years, our instructors, our staff, our officials, and of course our sponsors. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you very much, and we look forward to 21 more years. Good evening, race fans. My name is JP Tuason, and I am the CEO and race director for the Phoenix Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Cup. And tonight we've got an amazing race because we've not only graduated from Gran Turismo Sport, but we've moved on to a PC-based game, which will allow us to have many racers on the grid, and it turns into fantastic action. But before we start the races, let me introduce my co-host tonight. He is the video producer from Autodeal. He is a very famous guy. He's going to be even more famous because he's come out in so many commercials, and he's all over social media. We have Kako Tirona. Kako, how you doing, my friend?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, JP. Thanks for having me with you. It's going to be a great race. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you again to Tuason Racing for having me here to host the first round of the Homegrown Esports Series in the country, where we're going to see real race drivers and esport racers battle with one another on a thrilling PC-based Assetto Corsa game. But before all the action begins, we would also love to thank our friends from the media who are here to witness the racing action of Phoenix Pulse Asia or Phoenix Pulse Formula V Virtual Cup. We'd like to thank Autocar, Autodeal, yes, of course, C Magazine, Philippine Daily Inquirer, Wheels Philippines, Time Attack Manila, The Philippine Star, Manila Standard, Tito James Deacon.ph, Jeff Trinas did say Tito, Business Mirror, Business World, The Daily Tribune, One Sports, Rappler, Street Talk PH, Car Moody, Motoring Today, hey, that's Tito Butch, Motor Tech, and Metro Polar. I hope I said that right. And of course, Ripples Daily.
So thank you to all our media partners for joining us tonight. And of course, to celebrate the 21st year of Tuason Racing as the premier motorsports company in the Philippines, we want to give our racing enthusiasts a career path on the path for global motorsports using our competition, which is the Formula V1 Virtual Cup. So since physical races are not yet allowed in the country because of our quarantine restrictions, Tuason Racing and Phoenix Pulse are bringing to you the Formula V1 Virtual Series in the comfort and safety of your homes, okay? So tonight, we've got these e-racers and professional race car drivers who are ready to start the race series and get the action started.
But before we get things started, let's get to know more about this first homegrown esports program of Tuason Racing. So please watch these short videos.
Okay, so 2 years ago, Tuason Racing launched its Formula V1 race series, and it became the country's only Formula car program, which is being participated by both Filipino and international racers. Now, the winners at that time were given a chance to compete in Japan as their prize at the Suzuka International Circuit and, of course, the Fuji Speedway in Japan. But unfortunately, with the suspension of sports activities in the country and worldwide due to COVID-19, we are now holding this homegrown race series in the virtual arena. So to make this racing more exciting, Tuason Racing and our friends from Phoenix Petroleum Philippines are about to launch the Formula V1 Fantasy League. Okay, so this league now gives non-gaming race fans a chance to be part of the racing action. So each participant of the Formula V1 Fantasy League may now own their own race team, right? So virtually. And this is done by choosing 3 drivers from the AM and the Pro class, or they can choose a Formula V1 Virtual Cup team. Now, a participant may gain points from their chosen driver's performance and, of course, playing in the weekly games. Earned points during the Fantasy League may be exchanged with exciting rewards provided by our sponsors. So we've got sponsored prizes from Phoenix Petroleum, LG Philippines, Top Tool, BC Express, Bendix, and of course, Blue Chem. So the Formula V1 Fantasy League will be having 5 winners in every leg, and we'll have 3 overall season winners.
Now, as part of Tuasan Racing CSR efforts, the motorsports company will be lending a hand to Mabuhay Deseret Foundation, located in Cubao, Quezon City. This foundation has provided thousands of free and subsidized operations every year to correct medical conditions such as cataracts, crossed eyes, cleft lip and palate, burnt contractions, post-polio, and club feet for the poor. To help, kindly send your donations to the account details flashed on the screen below. Now, we have a total of 55 racers vying for the amateur and pro crowns for race 1, where we're going to see head-to-head battle with real race drivers and esports racers.
That's right. It's going to be super exciting. It's going to be a lot of drivers on the grid. We've had 32 drivers that qualified for the qualifying time trial session yesterday, and we'll have to see more action in the race that's coming up. So for the AM class, our top 32 qualifiers are the guys that have moved on from the leaderboard challenge. So in the leaderboard challenge, we had over 100 guys register for the races, and now we've got the top guys moving forward and doing the qualifying. So the guys that have actually qualified for the race, in 5th place, we have Zetric Orate. Okay, cool. And in P4, we have Rial Lerpido. In P3, we have Jether Miole. In P2, we have Francis Metrillo. And in P1, qualifying for our AM race, our very first AM race here at Monza, we have Andre Varquez. Okay, so let's take a look at the races. We're about to start. We've got the cars already lined up on the grid, and check this out, you guys. Okay, so we've got a quick countdown. We don't see the lights because we're in the wrong position, but here we go. We've got a good start.
And they're off down the main straight.
They are, and it's a long main straight. We can see this amazing long straight here in Monza. And
we got some
contact
rubbing.
there.
We got some rubbing.
That's right. We've got some contact there. We have first corner contact by Aldo Palagulan takes contact and drops from P2 to P12. So that is big contact there, and such a shame because he was all the way up in the front, and now he has dropped a lot of places. So we're riding now with Jether, and we can see that these guys have really put in a lot of time to put liveries on their cars. It's really, really interesting to see. Kako, are you familiar with Monza?
I'm a little bit familiar with Monza, the turns and whatnot, and when to drop a couple of gears and whatnot, but this is all obviously virtually. But these guys, the way that these guys are going through Monza, and they seem like they know it like the back of their hand, because they're in the proper, like what we're watching right now with Janelli Cruz. He takes that left and then takes that right and then back left again to the last straight just before the very end of the track, where you take a right-hand turn that brings you back to the very, very long straight. These guys look like, I see somebody that's slowing down on the left-hand side. Can't really tell who it is, but I don't know if they got into an accident or they just dropped some speed, but it looks like they're going backwards, unfortunately. And backwards is the last thing you want to do when you're going through several rounds around what they normally call the Temple of Speed, which is Monza.
Yeah, and we've got the cars now entering the Parabolica corner, which is a really, really high-speed right-hander. And we're riding now with Erwin coming onto the main straight. And of course, we've got Famela Baranda. So we've got 2 celebrity racers here, Kako. Fem Baranda and Rian Ramos.
That's right. It'd be interesting to find out exactly where they end up a little bit later on at the end of the program, and see where Fem takes a couple of corners and jumps those corners just a little bit, but not enough to dislodge her from the race that she's doing. Here's Rianne now taking a left and then a right, and then getting onto the power as quickly as she can, just to get rid of all of that tarmac underneath her with a nice right turn here. Drop a gear. She's now doing about 120 kilometers per hour, and she's powering on again. where it's going to be a sharp turn to the right before another long straight, dropping down to 110 kilometers per hour, about 90 kilometers per hour. This is not exactly the speed that you want to be taking that corner on, and you want to do a little bit faster. The slowest would be, as JP mentioned earlier, would probably be the first right and the first left after the main straight, where you're dropping from 220 kilometers per hour all the way down to almost maybe about 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. That must be hell on the brakes.
That's right. And as we're now going into the Ascari corners, and this is interesting because this part of the track is really quick. You need to carry a lot of speed through this area, and a lot of the drivers actually use not only all of the track, but even a little bit more on the exits to carry all that speed onto the long straights. And we can see Rian there she is. She's actually on screen driving. You can see she's concentrating really hard. There's already a bit of damage on her bodywork there. Looks like she's been doing some rubbing with some of the other drivers. And riding on board now with JS Navarro. So JS on lap 3. And interestingly enough, JS is a good friend of ours. He's actually done some of our Top Driver Challenge races many years ago with C Magazine. So Kako, were you able to join any of our C Top Driver Challenge races?
I unfortunately was not able to. I would have loved to, but perhaps I was a little bit busy right there. Oh my goodness, there are cars slowing down left and right.
Yeah, cars everywhere. Who is that? Let's see if we can figure out who that was on the screen there. But there were cars on the left and the right. Looks like there was contact between some of those vehicles. And James is all over the place, overtaking, using the grass as well. So good move there by James. And again into the Ascari. And we've got a flyer from James over here. He's doing a lot of overtaking in front of him, coming down towards the Parabolica.
We're now on lap 3, if I'm not mistaken, and you know the views and the angles that you get. I do realize that it's a virtual race, but the angles that you're able to see these cars racing down, it's really spectacular, and the graphics are actually very awesome.
Yeah, it's actually getting very realistic nowadays with the sim racing. And the interesting thing is, as we were testing a couple of months ago this game to see if it would be close to the real thing, we were very surprised that the cars react very similar to how real life cars would react. You'd actually have to heat up the tires, you'd actually have to heat up the brakes. As the track gets ran on more and more, the cars actually get more and more grippy. So there's a lot of realism now to these sim games.
Leading this race may be great. I mean, it brings you closer to the checkered flag and to the points. But really, when you're racing like this, it just looks like it's a lot of fun to be in the pack and gunning it out with everybody else in the middle. Oh, I see somebody spinning in the back. Can't tell who it is.
Okay, so
another spin on the grass, and he goes from one to the other. Oh my goodness! I hope he's okay. Of course he's okay. He's at home.
That's right. So the beauty of this virtual racing is if you go into the wall, all you have to do is wait for the next game, right?
So, that's not a bad deal.
It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. So, okay, so earlier we had James, and he was in the battle for 15th place. So he's mid-pack out of 30 cars. Let's see if we can get him again on the screen. But right now we're with Patrick and Pio Pascual. Oh, okay, so Vic Joseph Dodalo. Now he's another player that has not only been in the C-Top Driver Challenge that we used to run, and I keep bringing this up because this is how Tuason Racing actually got started in esports, and we started this program in about 2004, and we ran this all the way until about 2007. So great program that we did, virtual racing that led all the way up to real racing. So we're now on lap 5, and we've got Mark Rosales up to P9. So a good battle there.
There seems
And
to
again-
be larger and larger gaps now between the leaders. The space in between them is what I'm getting at. It's getting much bigger. And sans any mistakes, it looks like the grid might actually stay this way. More interestingly, would probably be to follow those that are in the back, those that are fighting it, like JP said, in the middle of the pack, because I think that's where a lot of the action falls. But these guys look like, well, they're making it look easy. They look like they're on autopilot and cruise control at the same time. They could be driving Teslas for all I know, and these things could be driving themselves all the way to the very end. But I guess one little mistake from these guys will allow maybe gaps to close up from the people behind them. But it looks like they may actually have it in the bag. So if we can get a couple of shots of maybe a little bit back of the pack where everybody's fighting it off, we might see some action. Whereas up front, we have Francis chasing Andre for P1. Don't really know exactly how big the gap is, but maybe get a little bit closer. Maybe they'll crash into one another. I'm not hoping for an accident, just a little bit of action. And somebody is beached. Who is that that's beached?
Okay, so the interesting thing, Kako, with the race format. Oh, we have Jahan. Jahan Kalam has span out, and that could possibly have been him. Yeah, in the gravel trap. So now we're riding with Rian, and Rian is coming up towards. Okay, so Rian is up to P22. Quite a bit of bodywork rubbing on that car, and she's at the last corner, Parabolica. Let's see how she does leading on in the main straight. We are actually now again with P1 and P2. And as I was saying earlier, Kako, the interesting thing that we're going to do with this race is in the succeeding race, it will actually be a reverse grid of the top 10 finishing positions. So although in this race, maybe the cars have spread out because they started in their correct qualifying positions for the races, fastest guys in front, when we go to race number 2 for the AMs at Monza, they're going to have to deal with slower cars in front of them from the very start.
You know, James, I know that a reverse grid is probably not the most popular thing when it comes to the drivers because they want to speed off and get away. But from a spectator's perspective, it's got to be one of the most fun because it's got the most action, the most passing, the most paint rubbing and whatnot. So for the spectator, for you and I watching the race, I think it probably will be the best race that we could ever watch. Reverse grids are always fun. Unfortunately, not the best for the driver themselves, but hey, rubbing is racing, and I love me some rubbing.
That's right.
I'm trying to PG though.
All right, so what we have now is Andre Barquez, and he's now catching a back Barker. So blue flag being given, and the race leader is through. Yep, he's through and entering our, what section of the track are we in now? Okay, so he's through, no problem. So we're now entering the Lesmo section of the track, going towards Ascari. Okay, so we've got riding on board with Julian. And if I'm not mistaken, Julian is actually a Vios Racing Festival driver. So we've got a real race car driver here. And now on to lap 9. We've got we're really running out of laps. The guys really need to start pushing now to get a good position. And again, the interesting thing is whoever lands in 10th place will actually be on pole position for the next race.
That's right. As you mentioned, JP, I got a question though. If it is going to be a reverse grid, to give yourself a better chance, would it be better instead of winning first, maybe to drop to second or third position, giving you that much more of an advantage in the next race? Would that even be legal, so to speak?
So in racing terms, they call that sandbagging. And the way we've designed the series is not only do you have to be fast, but you also have to really be thinking about how you're playing the game, right? Because not only is there a reverse grid, and in succeeding rounds, we've got what they call success ballast. But one more thing comes into play, which we haven't talked about yet. Each round actually has a different points distribution. So for this first round, all of the points are times 100% in terms of the points we're giving out. But as we go to round 2, it goes to a factor of 1.5. So there's 50% more points given out to the drivers per round or per race. And then as we go into the third round, our final weekend of racing, it'll be a 200% multiplier, so 2 times the points. So that is equivalent to 2 weekends of racing in one go. So that allows those drivers that are kind of within striking distance of the championship, but not in the top 3, to actually come away from the weekend as the champion. And we've seen this happen many times in the race series that we have, the Vios Cup, the Vios Racing Festival, and even very recently in the Super Cup.
I see. So it looks like you guys have actually figured it out. So no sandbagging for anybody is basically what you're saying.
That's right. You actually have to keep going and driving really hard because you just never know what's going to happen. Each point actually is very, very important. In some of the race series that we've ran with these kind of rules, the championship can be decided by as little as 1 point.
Wow. Just like the real thing. I love it.
Just like the real thing, my friend. And right now we're riding with Jether, and he is racing with Rial for 4th place. So definitely these guys are in the points, and he is now in 3rd place. So a good move right there. But Rial is now attacking back and could take that 3rd place away. We're going on to the last lap in a minute, so these guys are running out of time, but it's a great battle between these two.
James, I gotta ask you, the condition of these automobiles, once they finish the race, do the automobiles go back to 100%? Is that what happens? Or do they take any penalties from any major crashes or altercations with other cars while in the race?
Okay, so when they restart the next race, so the cars are sort of put back together again. But definitely they have to follow the grid positions that are assigned to them. So what happens is after the race, they only have a few minutes rest, and then it's game on again.
Game on again. Love it, love it. So we're now on the last lap of this 10-lap Formula V1 Virtual Cup, the very first one, featuring media and real race drivers out there. It's been exciting. It's been packed with a lot of spins, which is always good to see. Not great for the driver, but great to see for us spectators. The track looks absolutely fantastic. It looks like it's a nice sunny day. The track is coming along to them. It's getting warmer, so the tires are getting warmer. They're getting better grip. Although, like you're seeing right now, some of them spin out their air. A couple of people have been DNFs already, and that I think would be the last part. The race just finished.
The winners for that race we have in 3rd place, Jether Miole of Riave Motorsports Project. In 2nd place, we have Francis Metrillo of Sim Racing PH times Top Spec. And our champion for that race was Andre Varquez of Ribbon Arc times Productive Motorsports. And of course, our fastest lap was done by Andre Varquez with a 2:01.782. So there you go. Congratulations, you guys. Good racing.
That's for the AM class, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. So stay with us, you guys, because we're going to be doing live raffles for you again and again. You can donate to our beneficiary, Mabuhay Deseret. Remember, this is our chance to help those that are in need during this crisis. So we'll be back right after this segment.
With your Phoenix RCBC Bank Card MasterCard, get 5% rebate when you gas up at select Phoenix gas stations. 25% discount on gasoline and diesel engine oils. Free towing and roadside assistance. Get rewards points for your shopping, dining, and other purchases. And exchange your rewards points for free flights, gift vouchers, or cash rebates. Get your own Phoenix RCBC Bankcard MasterCard to enjoy Pulse Racing perks and privileges. Apply now and receive 500 pesos worth of Phoenix Fuel as welcome gift.
Race fans and media, here are the winners on the first round of Phoenix Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Cup. In third place, we have Jether Miole from Llave Motorsports Project. In second place, Mr. Francis Metrillo, Sim Racing PH and Top Spec. And our champion, Andre Varquez, congratulations, from Ribbon Arc and Productive Motorsports. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. It was a great first experience, I'm sure, for all of you. So how does it feel to be part of the Phoenix Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Cup, the very first ever? I'll start with you, Jether. Kamusta naman yung karera?
Well, it was great. First turn, medyo
Ma-action.
kasi. Yeah, actually, someone bumped into me, but it's a good thing na at the end of the race, I still achieved third. It's a very, 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 very good pace. Before lap 9, I believe, or lap 10, I was able to catch with P3 back there. After Ascari chicane, I forgot the lap. I lost control of my car, but good. It's a good thing that I recovered quickly and made no serious damage to my car.
Oh, that's good. Jether, it seems as if that you know very well exactly what happened during the race. So I think the perfect question to ask you now is, what do you think you can do to improve for the next race?
For me to improve, I probably need to do more than 500 laps on the track.
Wow. That's dedication, my friend.
Yes, like a true grinder. And so yeah, 500 laps.
500 laps.
Maybe more if I want to.
All right. Congratulations, my friend.
I want to ask the next question. I want to ask now that for our second place, Francis, why don't you tell us a little bit about the experience? What was this whole experience like for you?
Yeah, the experience was something that I really expected, although during the first lap, there were a lot of people who went out of the track. And I was one of those, but I was lucky because I started at the 5th. After that, there was a battle actually on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So because of that, they actually took each other out. So it was pretty easy for me to get to 2nd place, and I got 2nd place at the 2nd lap. After that, me and Andre actually So
do you think that because of the position that you were in, your eventual position in the race wasn't exactly gifted to you? I mean, you had to work hard for it. But I guess my next question would be, during the next race, do you feel as if that you need to be more aggressive to maintain that position so that you don't get rubbed out? I mean, would you rather bump somebody else instead of you being bumped? Is that the kind of thing that you need to work on before the next race?
No, I think I really need to be more aggressive. I was really playing it safe, like from the early laps, lap 3 up until like lap 7. I should have been more aggressive because I was really afraid to spun out. Because once you spun out here in Monza, it's really, really hard to come back.
That's true. I think I completely understand where you're coming from. Monza, after all, is the temple of speed. So once you lose a little bit of speed, I guess it's really hard to catch up. And the hardest person to catch, I guess, at the end of the race was really Andre Varquez. Congratulations. Andre, tell us about your experience.
Okay, thank you for having me here. So I came first in the qualifying, and me and Jether, who was beside me, we had a great start. But I came from the first chicane. I covered the inside because he was really close to me from behind. So I really have to close the inside in order for my position to be not taken out. As for the racers from behind they really did get into their, let's say, their own war. I was on the front, just going away, getting away from the war zone because everyone has their own struggle of defending their positions and keeping all together throughout 10 laps.
Well, Andre, that's different. It's different next race because, as it was mentioned, there's going to be a reverse grid. So you finishing in first, now you're going to be in last. So when this particular race, you were up front, like you mentioned, and you just tried to sail away as fast as possible while everybody was doing their drama behind you. But now, when the reverse position comes, what are you going to do different now that you know that you're going to be in the back of it all, rather in 10th place? What are you going to have to do different to be able to get yourself back up front?
Well, since it is now our reverse grid, I was expecting to be really at the far back, but it was in 10th place, so good good relief from there. So I have to play it aggressive, but I still have to play it between being safe and aggressive.
Well, it sounds as it's going to be a very exciting race. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. I hope it was a great experience for you to drive. As much as it was to watch for me and JP, it was really a great experience. Can't wait for the next race. Good luck. Stay safe. And remember, if you guys are going to do any bumping out there, it's all just a game. If you want a ring, JP, I'm sure, can figure out a way that you guys can meet and really beat each other up. But for now, let's just keep it right there on the consoles, gentlemen. Congratulations once again, and thanks for joining us this evening.
Now we're back. And just a quick recap, we have with us here the top 23 in the pro class that have advanced to our race proper. So these are the guys that have done really, really well in the leaderboard challenge and that have moved forward to get into the actual race. So let's see who will win in this battle.
But JP, just before that, hang on. Before we proceed to the race one for the pro class, we're going to be raffling off some items courtesy of PC Express. You can win these items by answering this question. Now, very simple question, but here we go. Let's see if you were paying attention. In what racetrack was the first round of the Formula V1 Virtual Cup? Again, what is the name of the racetrack where the first round of the Formula V1 Virtual Cup happened? Come on, type your answers right now.
Down below, my friends, down below. Dun, 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 dun.
Shout
Okay,
out.
so I'm reminding everybody that Phoenix is also doing a raffle tonight. So please make sure you stay with us to join. Now, the viewers who've watched and share this race program, okay, so of course, it's important that not only do you watch, but you also share the stream, have a chance to join their raffle. And of course, there's a lot of chances for you guys, so please participate. Okay. And I guess
think that's enough. That's long enough. My watch is it's died already.
There we go.
Waiting. Time is up. Okay, so the correct answer, as if you guys didn't know already, is Autodromo Nacional Monza, or just Monza, which is where the first round of the Formula V1 Virtual Cup happened. And we're gonna pick out 3 winners later on. So ahead of that, congratulations to those who did win.
Okay, so I guess it's now time to check out the grid position for this race. So let's flash out on the screen right now. And interestingly enough, in this this group, so we want to announce the top 5, okay? But actually, it's interesting to announce the top 6. Why? Because Terence Leave is there. So Terence is the champion of the Super Cup. So he has just been crowned the champion of the Super Cup. He's going to be representing the Philippines in the Super Cup Asia. So congrats, Terence. There you are in 6th place. You're in striking distance of a win. And in 5th place, we have Alexis. In 4th place, we have Inigo Anton. Okay, so again, somebody to watch out for. A very, very young, up-and-coming driver. Fast not only in the virtual world, but also in real life. And then in 3rd place, we have Russell Reyes. In 2nd place, we have another real-life race car driver, Estefano Rivera. Now, Estefano is representing the Avengers race team in Formula V1, and he was the champion last year. He actually represented the Philippines and raced in Suzuka. Okay, and then finally, of course, we have Luis Moreno, our Filipino professional esports driver. He is one of the more famous esports, local esports drivers, and that rounds up our top 6 drivers. Very cool. Okay, so what makes things even more exciting, aside from a virtually exciting race experience that we've got here, is we're going to get to see race car drivers go head-to-head with professional sim racers. Now, who's going to win? I don't know. We're going to have to check it out. But from here, we're going to get to see what makes the racing action different from the real world to the virtual world. So all you guys have to warm up your reflexes, step on the gas pedal, and let's check out this action and get this race started.
There are the lights.
Okay. And we actually do get to see the lights this time, right? Okay, so this should be interesting. We can see Luis. And he's not blinking. There you go. And they're off. They're off. And again, we've got a lot of real racers on the grid. We've got Estefano Rivera, who is the overall champion for Formula V1 and for the Pro Class, and of course the Vios Cup.
Oh! We've already got spins in the midfield and the backfield. Oh!
Action!
Even more action. Wow.
Oh, my
took out
goodness.
maybe about 6 or 7 cars all in one turn.
Oh my goodness. And these are the pros.
Now from the pole, Russell Reyes overtakes Luis for P1 on we haven't even finished the first 2 corners of the lap, and Luis is already fighting for his position because he's been overtaken by Russell Reyes.
Okay, so that was a great move by Russell at the start of the race, taking advantage of all the gulo that was happening in the back and taking the lead from Luis Moreno. Now, again, we've got a lot of other drivers on the grid that are actual race car drivers. Again, slalom champion Inigo Anton. And we also have Joaquin Garrido, who is a champion karter.
Inigo Anton, man, that guy's not even old enough to be. Is he old enough to be up this late playing these games? Shouldn't he be in bed with a bottle of milk? That kid's so young.
Well, he's definitely not old enough to race a real car, but he's doing very well in this race series. So there's a really tight battle happening now in the front between Russell Reyes, Luis Moreno, and Inigo Anton on this first lap.
all nicely through. Doesn't seem to be any more drama just yet. I think everybody's getting the jitters out of the first lap, or just barely the first lap. We're now entering the second lap, scheduled for roughly about, if I'm not mistaken, 10 laps. We have Mr. Reyes up in first place. Luis is in second, and Inigo is in third, and that rounds up our top three, with Terence Llave in fourth. And I can't exactly see who's in fifth place, but they are a distant 1.6 seconds away. So the first four guys have definitely moved on to a group of their own, and we hope to see some action up front as well as action in the midfield.
Okay, so we've got Daryl Brady now. We're riding with Daryl in 7th place. And you can see Daryl on screen. He's really, it looks like he's really concentrating hard because he's got a lot of positions to catch up to the lead group.
Jim, these guys are so serious when they're driving. I would love to be able to see a camera position on some guy who's driving the car sort of like a laid-back guy with just one arm on the steering wheel. Do you think that's even possible with these races, or do they really have to be like super concentrated to be able to race?
Well, I actually haven't seen any of these guys not concentrate very hard, because I think to be able to drive quickly in these sim races, you have to be concentrating just as hard as if you were racing a wheel race car, because they go, things go by very, very quickly in these simulation games. So you can see that we're riding behind these racers, but if you're actually in the in-car shot, everything moves by very, very quickly. It actually simulates very well in terms of the amount of speed you're carrying down the track.
I see.
Oh, we have action. Oh, who is that? Who was that? Was that? Oh, I see. Okay, so that was
Terence.
That was Terence. Okay, Terence Llave, who is the Super Cup champion, off the track into the barriers. I think he's out of this race now. So the interesting thing about this race is we've got proper damage on the car. If you go off and you damage your car, you're out. So I think Terence is out of this race. He's going to have to make up a lot of positions in race 2. Okay, so some of the racers to be watching for this race, we're now on lap 3, is Zuriel Zumodobia, and he is the back-to-back ERGP Copper and Bronze class champion. Okay, so he's definitely somebody to watch out in this race. We have also Francis Angelo Gonzalez, who is the Smiling Assassin. Ayos, the Smiling Assassin. He's an international sim racing podium finisher and is always smiling while on intense racing pressure. So there you go, Capo.
Wow.
I don't know if he has time to be, drinking with one hand and driving with the other, but he's definitely going to be smiling all throughout this race.
With a resume like that, he sounds like sort of like an Austin Powers on the track, man, like an international man of mystery.
Could be. And right now we are watching. Oh, some action there. We have.
And Luis
That's
gets
right.
spun out.
So Inigo Anton takes a position there, but there's definitely going to be an investigation by the stewards on that move. So Inigo might get a penalty.
Come on, don't give him a penalty. Let him go. Rubbing his racing. Let it go.
So yeah, what we're trying to do with this race series is teach the drivers the proper race etiquette, right? And you can't treat this simulation as a video game, because again, the idea is to learn what you need to learn in the sim world and take it to the real world.
So you're telling me that you can't treat these cars like bumper cars and sort of like have God mode on and take as much of the turns as you can, while let's say, for example, using somebody else on the racetrack to keep you on track. That would be a bad thing, right?
That would definitely be a bad thing. So the idea is not to drive like Mario Kart in these races. So
well,
not
then
only
I would definitely like to change my answer as to why I've never tried any of these races, is because I would be a menace on the track and I would be penalized, not just a few seconds. I might be penalized quite possibly a couple of hours for my driving skills. points.
Yeah, you're not given any turtles to throw out in this race series. That's right. Okay, so for this round, the top 10 finishers of each class will be receiving corresponding points, and the factor for multiplier is 1.0 for this first race. But as we move on to succeeding rounds, we're going to be having a 1.5 and even a 2 times multiplier for points. So again, this falls into a lot of strategic planning for the drivers.
Yeah, I just noticed that there's a couple of marshals on the racetrack right now. See, if I were to race in this series, those marshals would have to hide. I wish I was kidding, but you know, they'd be in trouble. Thank goodness we've got professionals right now racing. We're riding along with Gab and Mires, who's and now with Paul Faustino. Paul right now, as far as I can tell, is down into 18th place, while Gab was in 17th. So that's a small little battle going on right there.
And right behind them is LJ. So this is a battle between Paul, LJ, and Gab was in front of them as well. So that should be really interesting to watch as this develops.
And LJ is driving with a VR screen, so I don't know if that is actually an advantage or whatnot, but considering where his position is, it may not be all that great of an advantage.
Oh,
and somebody is spinning.
And is that LJ? Yep, LJ is off.
It's LJ, you're absolutely right. He decided to take the car and see what the countryside of Monza looks like. It's not very good on slicks.
You wanted to check it out in VR, right?
That's true.
No, I guess you're right, man. VR maybe wasn't very effective for this race, at least.
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, so looking at Russell Reyes, he is in P1, and what lap number are we on? We're on the 5th out of 10 laps. So he's starting to build up a bit of a gap on Luis Moreno. And Luis looks like he's now falling into the hands of Inigo. So
That's
Luis
right,
has gotten
Inigo.
past Inigo again, but it looks like those two are battling for second place.
Yes, it is. Luis looks like he's about a second or a second and a half at most from the leader, but Inigo is barely just he's barely away from him at only about 0.03 of a second just behind him. So that battle is probably good to watch. If we can get our cameras back on those guys, it'd be a great battle to watch.
Okay, so somebody has just set the fastest lap of 2:02.1, and that's quick at Monza. So the track must be getting better. The cars must be getting better as well, as we're halfway through the race.
There's probably a lot of rubber on the road right now from these guys turning and burning as fast as they can. So like JP said, the track is definitely getting faster. It's coming to the drivers themselves.
Okay, another driver to be watching is Voltaire. So we're riding with Voltaire Psycho right now, and Voltaire is the Philippine edition champion of the ERGP. So he definitely has a lot of experience in the virtual world in terms of motorsports. So right now he's in 10th place, and let's see if he can do better in the next 4 laps. We're on lap 6 now, but if he doesn't, then he's actually in a very strategic position, because when they flip this around for the reverse grid, he will be on pole position.
That's very true. So we're now on lap 6, and it looks like Russell is really untouchable, building up a 1.2 second gap now from Luis, and Inigo now dropping back a little bit, down behind by another second to go. So I don't know. This looks like the race may end like this, unless there might be some more drama down the line. Who knows? Nobody knows. I guess we'll find out in a couple of laps' time.
Yeah, so right now we're on board with Alexis, and there we can see him on the in-screen shot. You can see that he's pushing quite hard because he's using all of the road and the runoff areas as well. So all the way past the rumble strip, and using a bit of what they call the AstroTurf So maximizing all of the exit, carrying a lot of speed down the straights. And right now he's in 12th place. And let's see if he can catch the drivers in front.
Oh, that's using a lot of
road. It is a lot of road. And again, Voltaire is a international sim racing champion. So again, a lot of experience right there.
Hard on the brakes right now. Try to keep the nose in. Drop down to third gear. Pushing out 130. Now go. Push, push, push. Onto fourth gear. 170 kilometers per hour. On your way to 220 kilometers per hour. Just before you get to the end and to the first turn where you have to slam on the brakes, bring yourself down to somewhere in the region of maybe about 80 kilometers per hour in just such a short time. There they go through the first turn. Great shots here. You can see the wheels bouncing up and down the curves. Really, really great. Again, the positions right now as we are on a lap 7. We've got Russell Reyes with 6 laps on his belt. Just a point of a second behind is Luis. And a full second behind Luis would be Inigo Anton in 3rd place. We've already got what looks like 3 people in the pit who will not finish the race. So we still have a total of 22 vultures, I should say, on the track trying to gain as much position as possible.
And right now we are on board with Joriel Cruz. And as you can see, he's working that steering wheel really, really hard, trying to keep the car not only on track, but trying to get us much speed out of that car. His last lap was a 2:04.9, a little bit off the pace, but apparently Joriel has a lot of girl fans. So the girl fans are probably rooting for him right now. So that could be helping him gain a lot of momentum in today's race. So again, you can see that there's a train of cars, and if you could just latch onto the back of that train, then there could be a lot of action coming up.
Yeah, if this guy finishes in the top 10 or on the top podium, he could be seeing a lot of action too, if you know what I mean.
That's right, my friend. I'm rooting for him. And
yeah, so
we
am
have
I.
here. Ooh, look at this. We've got action in the front. And we have Russell Reyes battling it out in the front with Luis Moreno.
Luis took him. Luis now is in front with Russell in second. Inigo very close behind. So the top
they are side by side, my friend. I don't know. Side by side. Oh, as we come into the chicane, Russell Reyes takes it back from Luis Moreno. You can see Luis. Luis doesn't look happy.
No, he doesn't.
And
the person
again,
in the background, I think, is making a cup of coffee. I'm not sure about that. But oh my God, the race, everything is happening right now.
So for first place, we have 3 cars battling it out. We've got Russell Reyes in front, Luis Moreno, and Inigo Anton. I think Inigo is what they call a banger from the Avengers. He's waiting for something to happen. They're now going towards Ascari. And this is a great opportunity to set up for a pass. Yeah, hard on the brakes, but then carrying the speed onto this straight, this back straight, and then slipstreaming through this section. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're heading now towards the Parabolica, the last set of the last corners as we move towards the first turn, or to the main straight. And
Inigo in third right now. Yeah. These guys are punching a really big hole for him. They're punching a hole in the air so that he can hopefully catch up, which is not necessarily a bad thing for him. But the first 2 guys up there, Luis and Russell, are battling it out. Now they're side by side going down the main straight with Russell on the right, Luis on the left.
Wow.
A little bit ahead, man. This looks close.
What a move. Side by side we've got coming through this chicane. pushing out a little bit on Russell Reyes. We have Luis Moreno taking first place. Luis Moreno is now in first place. Russell and Inigo side by side for second place. On the last lap, you guys, who's it going to be? You can see Luis is really concentrating. He's also taking a very, very defensive line. Inigo Anton going for... Is he going to go for it? Oh, Inigo Anton. Going for it now, coming into this next set of corners. He is now beside Luis Moreno. Is he going to go for it?
Can he take it? Can he take it?
We are on lap 9. We've got 1 lap left to go. Lots of action happening on track right now with Luis Moreno in first place. Inigo Anton very close to him in second. And in third place, we have Russell Reyes. Russell has basically led most of this race, but is now in third place. But we have them right now nose to tail coming on to our last lap. It can be anybody's race at this point in time. We should place bets.
Not on this one. This is just going to be too close to call. The action is absolutely great, and if you're not watching it from the driver's perspective,
whoa!
You can see,
what a great move by
wide.
Russell. Unfortunately, he has made a move, couldn't make it stick, and he has lost that position. Russell Reyes, too aggressive on that one. Too aggressive at the Parabolica, and Luis Moreno is still in the lead, followed by Inigo Anton. So Russell Reyes overshoots at the Parabolica, and I think now he's lost quite a bit of space. He's gonna have to use all of this lap just to catch up on that. He's lost quite a bit. So now the battle is between Luis Moreno and Inigo Anton on the last lap.
That's right, and Russell is a full second back, and there are 2 more people behind Russell, obviously. I can't read the name of the person on the 4th, but I think the 5th is Mr. Daryl Brady. Then we've got Paul Basse in 6th. So these guys are a little bit far back. I don't know if they can make a charge in this very last lap, but right now riding with Inigo Anton, and he's getting very, very close to Luis up front. As you can see in the rear view mirror of Inigo, it seems like Russell is quite far back. He may not be a threat. And I think he just spun. Did I just see that on the rear view mirror? I think Russell just spun.
So there was some contact between Estefano Rivera in 4th place and Russell Reyes. We don't have the details, but it looks like there has been some action. And Daryl Brady is now up to 4th place with Estefano Rivera up to 3rd.
Wow. Things change so quickly. And there's only 1 lap to go.
Yeah, with about half a lap left to go. So,
oh my goodness.
The leaders are now heading towards the last corner. This is the Parabolica. It's a very quick right-hander that leads onto the main straight. It looks like we have Luis Moreno.
Sort of like smiling a little bit on the top right hand of our screen. Does he?
Yeah,
does he
I think he just told his mom, "Mom, I want it." His mom in the background, "Mom, I want it." Woo! Congratulations!
Woo!
Good race.
Party!
Good race right there. So we have our winners for the Pro Class. So I don't know what happened to Estefano Rivera, who is in 3rd place, but we now have our winners. Daryl Brady from Sim Racing PH and times Daryl Brady GP times Nodalos. Okay, so in 2nd place we have Inigo Anton from Avengers Racing and Luis Moreno from the Legion of Racers. So
and Luis
any
Moreno
news
also he has got the fastest one. He got the fastest lap. Luis was able to pick up the fastest lap at 2 minutes 1.785 seconds, and if 2 minutes and 2 seconds was fast enough, this thing's got to be like lightning quick.
Okay, so we have a bit of an update. Estefano Rivera penalty for contact with Russell Reyes, so he was given a 5-second penalty, so that took him down from 3rd place, giving the 3rd place podium position to
Daryl Brady.
Well, congratulations to all our winners for race 1. For those who didn't make it, just keep your high hopes. Keep your high hopes, continue practicing, and aim for that goal. We'll be right back after this short break.
Okay, race fans and our media friends, here are the winners for race 1 of the Pro Class of the Phoenix Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Cup. Okay, in third place, we have Daryl Brady. In second place, we have Inigo Anton of Avengers Racing Team. Okay, so Inigo Anton actually represents a real life race team. So we hope to see Inigo in a real race car in a real race series soon. Why haven't we seen him in a real race series? Because he's too young. He's underage. But anyway, and our champion for tonight for race 1 of the Pro Class is, of course, Mr. Luis Moreno of Legion of Racers. Okay, so let's have these guys come on down for our press conference.
Hi guys.
There's Inigo. There's
Hello.
Daryl.
Hi.
Hello, good evening guys.
Gentlemen,
Good evening.
congratulations! Race done, very well done, very impressive. A lot of action there. Enjoyed watching it. I'll start with Daryl. Daryl, I guess I need to know. Tell us a little bit about your very first experience on this track, and how was the race for you?
Actually, madami na rin kaming mga races sa Monza, pero yung for this series medyo kakaiba yung mga nangyari dahil full Filipino yung drivers. So medyo nag-enjoy kami dito. Medyo naging swerte lang ako dito sa race 1 and then the rest naging P3 na. So, lucky lang.
I guess Daryl, yung tanong ko, kakasabi mo lang naging swerte ka. So I guess my next question is, paano mo papalitan para hindi ka swerte? Anong kailangan mo palitan para mauna ka na hindi swerte? Kailangan ba mas aggressive ka? Kailangan mo ba iwasan yung mga tao? Mas careful ka? What is it that you need to do to improve to be able to get the position or in a better position that you are right now, which is third?
Siguro para ma-improve yung third place, kailangan kong mag-beat si Luis, kailangan na madaming practice. Si Luis na talaga tsaka si Inigo yung matinding kalaban. So, siguro seek time lang talaga. Medyo na lang sa work pero kaya naman siguro ng schedule.
Luis and Inigo seem to be the two guys that Daryl definitely wants to beat. I'm going to head on over to Inigo first, who finished second in this race. Congratulations, young man. I think that's the proper way to call you, young man. We'll stick to that for now. Inigo, tell us about your experience. Well, how was the first race for you?
Well, of course, it's going into a new season, a new challenge, of course. Like, had to first learn the car, learn the track, and, it was going to be so fun. I knew it was going to be so fun because all the Filipinos were coming together to race in one season. And, the race held out, and for me, it was a very exciting, actually very nerve-wracking battling for the lead with Luis Moreno, and Russell Reyes. And at the end, I was able to stick it out and finish second. And, yeah, looking forward to the next race.
The next race, well, you just mentioned that the first one, your nerves were kind of getting to you. So would it be safe to say that you are very young, you're too young to drive a real race car, but do you think your nerves are going to be much better in check? You're going to be able to control them and perhaps even further your place on the grid instead of second, maybe hit that top spot perhaps?
Well, yeah, it will be a challenge for me in the second race. But now that I know how the race pans out, because it was the first race of the whole season, I can kind of work from that and just pace myself and always keep calm also. So yeah, it's another long race, and yeah, hopefully that I'll try and be able to win in the next round.
Good job. Sounds good. Luis, I want to go on over to you. Congratulations. Job well done. How was your first experience?
Started on pole, had a good qualifying, but could have been better. So my expectations were not that high yet because it's the first race of the season. Not sure how everyone would be performing in terms of race pace. But so far it went according to plan. I was able to bring home the win. Also, I had a battle with Russell Reyes and Inigo, which was very nerve-wracking, while at the same time being careful not to take either of them out. And yeah, so first race, pretty good so far for me.
Well, it seems as if that you did win the first race. Obviously, you did. But as the winner of that race, I would feel as if now that there's sort of like a big target on your back. Now, people want to get that position from you. Now, I would like to know, what are the things that you think that you have to work on to maintain that lead that you have, and to, if not maintain, but to extend the gap from any of these guys that are trying to take that top spot away from you? What do you think that you need to improve on, or what is it that you need to continue doing?
Right now, what I have in mind is to work on my qualifying pace and race pace consistency, and as well as trying to defend the position in the first lap, because in the first turn, we saw some drivers really be daring coming into the first corner, and I lost some position. So I would be working on how to defend my position better in the first few corners.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I do hope that you guys do improve and use these things that you talked about to further your career, or your career in this game, so that you guys can get better, faster, but maybe not that fast. A little rubbing, a little bumping never hurt anyone, literally, because it is, after all, a virtual race. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm looking forward to the next race. You guys are awesome.
Okay, so congratulations to all the winners, guys. Thank you for joining us on the podium tonight. And for those of you that didn't make it to the podium, like Jethro Mioles said earlier on, you need 500 laps or maybe more. So keep on practicing, you guys. And hope to see you guys in the next races on the podium. So we'll be back right after this short break.
Vibrant AI picture. Resonant AI sound. The wonder of LG OLED TV.
Okay, so the Phoenix Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Cup wouldn't be possible without the help of our sponsors. Thank you, guys. Phoenix Pulse Petroleum Philippines, LG OLED TVs, PC Express, Family Mart, AEG, Blue Chem, Bendix, and OMP. And of course, we have our media partners as well, Autocar, Autodeal, Kako, there you go.
Yeah.
C Magazine, the Philippine Daily Inquirer, Time Attack Manila, and Wheels PH. Of course, we're supported by our partner organizations. We have AAP, GT Philippines, SRPH, Ribbon Arc, and 7 Garage. So again, thank you to all our partners and sponsors for your unwavering support.
And again, congratulations, a very warm congratulations to all the winners of Race 1. And thank you, racers, for joining us on this year's Phoenix Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Cup. That's a mouthful, but it's an awesome thing to watch. But before we end this program, we're about to announce the three raffle winners of items from PC Express for this particular round. Now, the raffle question was, in what racetrack was the first round of Formula V1 Virtual Cup? And the winners for the raffle will be posted in the comments section down below.
So this officially ends race 1 of the Phoenix Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Cup. Yay! Woohoo! It'll be a head-to-head battle in the AM and Pro class in succeeding races. Yeah, definitely. So much action. You can see some of our drivers were also sweaty while they were racing. So who will take the crown and be hailed as the 2020 Pulse Formula V1 Virtual Champion? Well, we're going to have to find out.
Again, for those who want to donate to the Mabuhay Deseret, kindly send your donations on the bank account details flashed below on the screen. Thank you for joining us today, and we are hoping to see you next week, October 17, for race 2 with even more action. Well, kind of hoping for more action on that. But if there is no more action, the action that we just saw in these 2 races, man, I'm sweating bullets. But that was something else. I enjoyed that more than I should.
It was actually very, very exciting racing. And again, I want to congratulate the winners. Some of you guys worked really, really hard. for those of you that didn't win, like one of our participants said, Jether, more practice, maybe 500 laps or more.
500 laps.
So, Kako, do you want to invite our viewers tonight to check out Autodeal and what you guys have got on that site?
Yeah, sure. For those of you that would like to leave the racing on the racetrack, which is always a smart thing to do, and if you need yourself a road car, do check out autodeal.com.ph because we've got all the models of cars out there in the Philippines available on our website for you to browse through. And if you'd like to check out my reviews on these particular cars, you can also go to our YouTube channel where we have reviews on as many cars as possible. And of course, you guys being a subscriber would definitely help us to produce even more of these videos just for you. Japes, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on this program. I hope to see you guys very, very soon.
Kako, now a name, soon a legend. Bro, sobrang thank you for being here. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you very much. And of course, to all of the viewers out there, please don't forget to like us on Facebook and of course, follow our page, Instagram as well, and on Twitter at Tuason Racing. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at Tuason Racing TV. And of course, hit the bell button. And of course, we'll keep you guys updated for our latest happenings. Kako, I hope you enjoy the weekend. Thank you for coming. And I hope to see you in one of our future episodes. Bye,
Definitely.
guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Vibrant AI picture. Resonant AI sound. The wonder of LG OLED TV.
Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! Now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
Down. Up, 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 up.